wrong it would be ecologically unsound for me to smash a bottle of champagne against the bow of this boat. But there are the kind of words that you say on occasions like these, and I feel a bit like the Queen as I announce. It's the maiden voyage of this slow boat. I want to say, God bless IYP. God bless the slow boat and all who sail in her. Thank you.
In having a space of their own that they could work in, that they could meet with other groups, that they could do practical workshops, a space that they could call their own. And about a year ago we started talking about different kinds of spaces. We talked about camping out in the city centres, about building tree houses, about thinking differently about spaces, and fell upon the idea of working on a canal boat quite naturally actually. Birmingham's surrounded by canals, and as one of the young people said to me, you know, the canals create this slow, almost viral networking, the slowest form of viral networking ever, because canals, you know, you have to slow down, you have to work slowly. It's almost like things happen in real time on canals. You walk perhaps slightly slower than a canal boat moves, so it's an interesting place to work with a group of young people on.
So I suppose it's an extension of the gallery at the moment, kind of one which we can move around and treat as kind of a adaptable environment.
I travelled up from Bristol with Yak, the Young Arnolfini Art Collective, to come and see the opening of Slow Boat. I think it's pretty exciting, yeah. I really like the idea of the boat and having workshops in it and stuff like that. It's nice to have like a place to base these things. Yeah, no, we're just travelling around the canals now. It's very exciting.
It kind of feels like you're in the forgotten parts of the city with all the kind of derelict buildings that you can peer through and the overgrown bushes and things.
There's a lot of wild flowers and a lot of derelict buildings. It's quite interesting, and a lot of piles of rubble as well. The clash between like the delicateness of the flower and like the rusticness of the of all the buildings and stuff. It's a lot more interesting.
What I like with the canals is that you discover places in Birmingham that you never thought was here before. And it does feel kind of deserted, but with that, the people that live around the canals, it's a bit like a community, and you kind of meet different people that you wouldn't meet in the actual city of Birmingham. And I kind of like how we finally have this connection with these different people.
Slow Boat, to me, it's a great project because it's involving young people in art, and it's involving their art in canals, and it's taking their interpretations of canals and their art around to people around the canals. So, you know, me being sort of passionately interested in canals, it scores on all fronts. I think it's a great project and I wish them every success.
I've just been on the slow boat, and we've just been up the canal just towards sort of the mailbox area, which was brilliant. In the sort of 8 to 10 years that I've been living in and near Birmingham, I'm ashamed to say that I've never been on a canal boat. So this is a brilliant opportunity to get on it, and it's beautiful inside, like really special, empty, blank canvas, brilliant space.
Well, for me the boat is also a kind of, like the group was always talking about the boat as a stage. So they have a lot of ideas for performances on the boat, but also the boat could be some kind of contemplation space. So we have the idea to use the boat, for instance, as a stage for performances. It will be turned into a camera obscura for a weekend. We will use the boat as some kind of time machine. So even inside now it looks quite white. A lot of people refer to like Space Odyssey or some kind of time machine. And it is a very slow time machine perhaps, to travel very slow through time and go back and contemplate on the landscape.
I think what's especially interesting about the canals is that they were in the past built for function and kind of propelling an industry, and now what's happened is that they've kind of reverted to being about leisure and being really not fulfilling the same function they were initially built for, which I find particularly interesting, because what I would like is that if this project somehow reinstated a function and made the adaptability of the boat and as a gallery and art space really central to what we're presenting. And it's just a really great opportunity, I think, to try something completely different, because a gallery is very stationary and people come to it, but this is an opportunity for us to go to people, because art is one of the few art forms where you actually have to proactively bring yourself to it, unlike music where you hear all around you, or I don't know, like television or film. Art you have to go out and find, whereas now we are essentially finding people to look at other work we're presenting, perhaps.
I performed a song which I wrote especially for the boat. It's called Slow Boat Shanty brackets Pirate K, and it's all about how the IYP would be brilliant at what they do, but they wouldn't be very good pirates because they're not really into cutting people up, and they like going carbon neutral and all that stuff. Pirate Kate was always very late. Her boat travelled slower than a tectonic plate. She sailed the seas in her own special way, delivering badges that she made. She dealt in fine delicacies such as filter coffee and cake, lovingly crafted by a crew of unlawful shipmates, all dressed in docks with mismatching socks, avant-garde hair atop quizzical stare, the only pirates to be seen in homemade knitwear. Hard to be a deadly barbarian when half of the crew are vegetarian. It took a while before feelings were mutual, and they all made the effort to become carbon neutral. No sexism in the workplace, but they still like to sing sea shanties, collect precious gifts surrounded by myths, sit out on deck and have a debate, all dressed in docks with mismatching socks, avant-garde hair atop quizzical stare, the only pirates to be seen in homemade knitwear. They say you can be who you want to be, but some people are meant to sail the sea. No anchor or sail, some would call that a fail. And the butt of every humorous tale, maggoty bread half alive and half stale. Now they tore their bridges, canals and inland waterways. A man with a beard at Canalside Cafe, chugging along on a warm summer's day, and Pirate Kate finally found a fitting forte. Thank you.